Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is all about amber, one of the most magnetic accords in perfumery. Now, amber isn't an ingredient you can pluck from a tree. It's more of an illusion, warm and resinous blend that often combines notes like labdanum, benzoin, vanilla and resins to create the glowing golden depth we all love. It can feel cozy, sensual, powerful or even mysterious depending on how it's built. And while not every fragrance in this list is labeled as amber fragrance, amber plays a defining role in each of them. These are scents that radiate presence, the kind that feel like a story unfolding on your skin. Let's dive into 10 of my favorite amber rich fragrances that truly capture this magic. So I'd like to start with Grand Soir by Maison Kurkdjian. If amber had a signature scent, it would be Grand Soir. This is golden, smooth and enveloping, like being wrapped in the glow of a Paris sunset. The heart of this fragrance is a radiant amber accord woven with labdanum, benzoin, tonka bean and a whisper of vanilla that melts everything together into something utterly elegant. It feels refined, calm and confident, never loud, just quietly magnetic. Imagine standing on a Parisian bridge at dusk, the city lights beginning to sparkle, everything slowing down. That's the kind of mood this scent creates. If Grand Soir were a person, it would be Daniel Craig as James Bond, tailored, self-assured and effortlessly composed and charming. The kind of presence that turns heads without trying, confident, smooth and dangerously sophisticated. Performance is incredible, 10 to 12, 14 hours easily, even longer, and it projects beautifully without ever becoming intrusive. This is amber in a tuxedo, smooth, timeless and impossibly refined. If Grand Soir is all about control and elegance, the next one turns up the heat, amber at its most hypnotic and powerful. I've got Blessed Baraka by Initio Parfums. Blessed Baraka is one of the most powerful magnetic amber-based scents out there. Rich, dense and hypnotic in a way that completely pulls you in. It's dark, resinous and sweet, but not in a gourmand way. More like a warm, glowing energy that wraps around you. This amber, musk, sandalwood, vanilla and a subtle touch of white flowers, creating a luminous, deeply sensual mix. The amber here feels thick and radiant like molten gold, powerful, spiritual and utterly captivating. Its warmth and intensity bottled into a fragrance that feels alive, present from the very first spray. This is one of those fragrances you just don't go anosmic to, at least I don't. You smell it constantly throughout the day. You catch these beautiful intoxicating whiffs of it every time a bit of air moves, whether it's from a fan, the breeze outside, or even just as you turn your head. You move, you smell it, you bend, you smell it, you walk past someone, they smell it. Absolutely intoxicating. There's this mysterious and wholesome grace and aura about it that feels magnetic, something that draws people in before they even realize. It's the fragrance of energy, of presence, and it projects that beautifully. Longevity is exceptional, 14 hours or more, and it has strong projection that makes a statement from the very first spray. If Grand Soir is amber in a tuxedo, Blessed Baraka is amber with a crown, radiant, commanding and unforgettable. Next we move from fire depth to something ethereal, amber that feels like it's floating in the air. I've got Baccarat Rouge 540, the Extrait version by Maison Kurkdjian. I know people have a lot to say about this. Some think it's overhyped, too common, too recognizable, but honestly I don't care what anyone says. I absolutely love this. BR 540 Extrait is one of my forever loves. I have some really cherished memories attached to it, and even though it's been talked about a million times, it still deserves every bit of credit it's ever received. This is modern amber, futuristic, almost weightless. The Extrait version takes everything we know from the original and turns it richer, smoother and creamier. It blends ambroxan, saffron, bitter almond and woods to create this sweet mineral warmth that's both airy and dense. It's one of those scents that seem to shimmer, slightly sweet, gently floral, beautifully woody and completely addictive. The almond adds this creamy sophistication, while the ambroxan gives it that musky and light skin-like sensuality that feels luxurious and human at the same time. But it's also notorious for causing nose blindness, so be careful. You might think it's disappeared after a while, but trust me, everyone around you can still smell it. It has that floating radiant quality that fills the air without you realizing it. The performance is monstrous, 12 plus hours with the trail that follows you for days. It's not just a perfume, it's an aura that hovers around you. Now let's shift from luminous to dark. amber that smolders with sensuality, I've got Musc Ravageur by Frederic Malle. Musc Ravageur is raw seduction, but in the most elegant, sophisticated way possible. This is so underrated in my opinion. There's bergamot, mandarin, lavender, amber, vanilla, sandalwood, and musk. So as per the note structure, there is a slight citrusy side to it. Perhaps the bergamot and mandarin add brightness, but to me it doesn't come across as a citrusy fresh kind of fragrance. That freshness is fleeting, just enough to lift the warmth that follows. And the result is this warm, rich, jammy and yet airy and fluffy cloud that feels both intimate and wild. The amber here doesn't shout, it glows quietly, blending beautifully with the musk to create a scent that feels like a second skin. Intimate, warm and magnetic, the sandalwood adds a soft, creamy depth that gives the whole composition this velvety texture. There's a vintage charm to it, like something from another time, passionate, sensual and deeply human. It's truly unisex, but it carries the aura of someone quietly powerful, confident, composed, at ease with their sensuality and unafraid to express it. Performance is excellent, around 8 to 10 hours with solid projection in the first few. It's a sexy fragrance in true sense, pure essence of sensuality in a very categorical way. And to summarize my admiration for it, it's a pleasant, charming, intriguing, unforgettable, seductive, addictive, dirty and yet sophisticated, jammy and yet fluffy, and a super underrated masterpiece in its category. And now we step into something regal, amber that commands respect without ever raising its voice. I've got Le Lion by Chanel. Le Lion is majesty in motion. There's bergamot in the notes, but I don't smell much of it, except that it adds a soft brightness to the composition. To me, it opens with labdanum and amber, dry and resinous, before revealing layers of patchouli, vanilla and a subtle smoky leather undertone. It's golden yet grounded, sophisticated but powerful, like sunlight filtering through a cathedral window. It's the kind of scent that exudes quiet authority, rich, complex and timeless. Every note feels carefully placed, balance between luxury and restraint. If Le Lion were a person, it would be Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne, sharp, composed, impossibly elegant, but with an undercurrent of depth and kindness, the kind of man who can command a room with just his presence, intimidating yet thoughtful, powerful yet controlled. Longevity is superb, 10 hours or more, and the projection is stately, noticeable but always refined. This is amber with gravitas, golden strength, wrapped in quiet sophistication, another masterpiece. Where Le Lion stands tall, the next fragrance turns inward, amber that feels introspective and spiritual. I've got Material by Amouage. Material is a reflection in scent form. There's amber, vanilla, benzoin, patchouli and a hint of incense, weaving a warm, resinous aura that feels meditative and serene. The incense isn't heavy, it's soft, somewhat smoky and beautifully balanced against the creamy vanilla and ambery warmth. The result is something contemplative, like golden light seen through a haze of incense smoke. This reminds me of Grand Soir. Not the same scent, but similar in profile, mood and quality. Material feels a little deeper, darker, with a hint of incensey smokiness, giving it more depth and complexity. It's very formal, very serious and empowering in character, like it carries a quiet authority wherever it goes. As it settles, it becomes this cozy, glowing presence around you, almost like wrapping yourself in your favorite blanket after a long day. There's a calmness to it that grounds you instantly. Longevity is strong at around 10 hours with moderate projection. This is amber for reflection, subtle, spiritual and deeply grounding. And now from peace to grandeur, amber at its most opulent and royal, I've got Jubilation XXV by Amouage. If power had a scent, it might smell like Jubilation XXV. This is an amber masterpiece, rich with frankincense, myrrh, honey, blackberry, woods, and a touch of oud in the base. And it's done with such finesse. It's not loud or skanky, but smooth, quietly powerful, and utterly commanding. It's a classy, refined, and opulent blend that feels both sexy and sophisticated. It's beautifully woody, warmly ambery, and musky, rich and complex, and absolutely drenched in elegance. It has a regal, incense-filled warmth that feels ancient and divine, like walking into a room full of history and gravitas. One of the best fragrances for men, if not the very best. It's ideal for colder months, the festive season, or any moment worth celebrating. Jubilation XXV is all about honoring life. Everything that moves you, excites you, or makes your eyes sparkle, whether it's a person, a relationship, or even something tangible, only you can decide what truly resonates. Whether you're celebrating quietly to yourself or sharing the moment with others, This fragrance is a loyal companion. It delights the senses for hours, projecting just enough to be noticed without overwhelming, letting everyone in your immediate aura share the experience. Remember to celebrate the little victories, the small achievements. They all count and deserve recognition. To get the most out of it, dress the part. Jubilation 25 is versatile, but it shines best when paired with a touch of effort. Wear it on an important day, a special event, a date, or any time you want to stand out. This is Amber royalty, dignified, powerful, and unforgettable, just like the person wearing it. From royal halls to intimate spaces, the next Amber is all about soft elegance. I've got Ambre Nuit by Christian Dior. Ambre Nuit is a love story between Amber and Rose. The amber here is smooth, sensual, and a little mysterious. The rose adds a velvety, romantic touch, and a hint of pink pepper brings sparkle to the opening. It's not sweet, just beautifully balanced and opulent with somewhat citrusy, floral, woody, ambery facets and beautifully soft patchouli. What I love about this one is how effortlessly it moves with you. It's one of those fragrances that always feels right no matter the mood. It's like soft confidence, bottled, elegant but never showy. There is a gentle sophistication to it, polished, warm and inviting without being heavy. Very versatile and even perfect for evenings or quiet, elegant moments. Longevity is around 6 to 8 hours with a defined projection that sits close to the skin. It's amber at its most graceful, romantic, tender and timeless. And from soft elegance, we travel eastward, amber infused with adventure and mystery. I've got Voyage by Oman Luxury. Voyage feels like amber carried by the desert wind, like a journey in a bottle, transporting, mysterious and deeply comforting. It's a luminous, sophisticated amber fragrance with a lively, sparkling edge. You get the brightness of bergamot, pink pepper and ginger, giving it energy and lift, while rose, geranium and soft floral notes add elegance and refinement. The base wraps everything in warmth and depth, with patchouli, labdanum, incense, ambergris and musk creating a rich, resinous and slightly smoky aura. The incense subtly ties it all together, lending a quiet spiritual luxury, while the ambergris and musk give it airy brightness that keeps the warmth from ever feeling heavy. This is one of those scents that surrounds you like a memory, expansive, vast, reflective and quietly luxurious. It evokes travel, discovery and calm sophistication, as if every facet has been carefully balanced to create an elegant journey. Longevity is impressive, around 8+ hours, and it projects moderately yet confidently and leaves an intoxicating trail, drawing people in without demanding attention. Wear it when you want to feel transported, introspective, or simply in control of your presence. It's versatile, elegant, and quietly commanding, a companion for both solar reflection and shared experiences. And finally, we end on something peaceful, amber's most intimate, comforting side. I've got Benjoin Boheme by Diptyque. Benjoin Boheme is warm, comforting and quietly captivating. It's calm, soft and beautifully introspective. It blends benjoin, amber, patchouli and soft resinous woods into a smooth, elegant and slightly powdery aura. The richness feels enveloping yet never heavy. It's refined, intimate and luxuriously cozy. There is a delicate sweetness that softens the amber and resin, creating a fragrance that's at once comforting and sophisticated. The benzoin gives it that balsamic sweetness that turns the wearing experience into something that feels silky and serene, something that feels like a gentle hug. This is one of those scents that lingers close to skin like a gentle golden glow. It invites intimacy without being intrusive, making it perfect for quiet moments or thoughtful reflection. There's warmth, subtle sensuality and a calming elegance that makes it feel timeless. Longevity is moderate, around 6 to 7 hours with a cozy, intimate sillage. It's not about projection, it's about presence. It sits close to the skin, creating a personal, inviting aura. It lingers softly, wrapping you in quiet comfort. It's amber's whisper, intimate, peaceful, nurturing and effortlessly elegant. Wear it when you want to enjoy your cozy scent bubble, when you want your presence to feel elegant, understated and quietly unforgettable, especially in cold weather with your favorite sweater. And that's my journey through 10 amber fragrances, each one showing a different side of this incredible accord. Amber can be smoky or sweet, powerful or peaceful, but it always feels alive. It's the note that glows, evolves and connects emotion with elegance. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.